Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to this 45-minute Yin Yoga class. Looking forward to doing some Yin with you all today or this evening. I'm getting my sweater on to get a little cozy. So if you're watching this video as a replay, go ahead and fast forward a little bit to when we actually get started. I'm going to talk for a second and give people a chance to jump on this live Yin Yoga class. So I'm going to be using a tada rug back here as my yoga mat, and you might use a blanket or something else comfortable to lay on. I recommend having like some tea nearby, maybe play some relaxing music. Do what feels cozy, as this is a very restorative and rejuvenating class for your body. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'll tilt this down so you can see just a little bit better what we're doing tonight. Here we go. You're going to start on your mat or your blanket or whatever you're laying on in a seated position. You're going to stretch your legs out in front of you and just then rock your legs back and forth to start. Just getting kind of the joints mobilized before we go into some postures. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention, if this is your first Yin Yoga class, you're also going to want some pillows. So I have pillows really handy, but if you need to run and grab some pillows right now, go ahead and grab them from your couch or from your bed. You're going to need a couple. Okay, letting those legs slow down. Shift weight into your hips. So we're going to start with a seated forward fold. So you're going to bring a pillow over the thighs. I like to bring two, but you could bring one or two or three. And then it's also really nice to sit up on the edge of a pillow. This just to lift your sits bones up a little bit. This will help with the forward fold. So sit bones slightly lifted, pillows on top of the thighs. You're going to let your knees bend and be soft. Your feet can flop around however they want. And then you're just going to let your arms and your legs be still and your arms hang up over the pillows. Having trouble with words today. Some days are just like that. All right, so once you get into the pose, we hold for a little bit of time, generally about 3 to 5 minutes for each yin pose. And in these postures, you want to soften the target area. The target area is where we're looking to feel a stretch or a sensation. In this pose, our target area is the back of our thighs, our hips, and our lower back. So soften those areas. If you need to keep a little tension in your arms or your hands to help support your head, that is totally okay. Also, in all of these postures, we're looking for only about 3 to 5 of sensation on a scale of 1 to 10. So this isn't about deep stretching. These are subtle, passive stretches. And the more passive you are, the more likely you're going to get into some of those deeper connective tissues, like the tendons and the ligaments, and stretch less of the muscle belly. It's really easy to stretch our muscle belly when we're doing things like vinyasa or hatha or other more vigorous movement types of yoga. And so this yin can be really beneficial combination where you stretch that deeper tissue, which is really good for injury prevention. So if you're somebody who's always at a 6 on that scale, see if you can really go to a 5 today. You might also notice that once you're in these poses for a little while, what started as a 5 might go down to a 3. And you might choose to slide the pillows a bit further away or adjust slightly so that it goes back up to, let's say, a 4. You always want to support your head and neck. Let it rest on something. It should never just be hanging in space. Allow your body to breathe however it wants. softening those target areas. There's also generally long moments of silence in Yin. And during that time, if your mind wants to wander, that is okay. However, if you find your mind wandering, and that wandering is going to worry or anxiety, I encourage you to then direct your attention back to your breath, letting your exhales become a little bit longer than your inhales. We're here just a little bit longer. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, start to lift your face to look forward. Slowly come up to a seated position. You'll move your pillows to the side, scoot your hips forward, and lie down onto your back. We always take a rest between our yin postures as a way to kind of reset the muscles and the bones to what their neutral setting would be. We're going to stay on our backs for this next pose. If you have something underneath you, if you laid back over a pillow, make sure to slide it out so you're lying flat on your back. Find a comfortable flat position, laying on your spine. And bend your knees so your feet are on the ground and your knees point towards the ceiling. Bring your arms out into a T or a cactus shape, whatever you've got room for. And separate your feet apart. If you had a yoga mat, you're thinking like yoga mat distance apart with the feet. If you don't have a yoga mat, you're thinking of a little bit wider than your hips, your feet out to the sides. Let both knees drop over to your left. And you could stay just like that. Or you could pick up your left ankle and place it on top of your right knee. If this feels a little vulnerable, I suggest placing a pillow underneath your left knee. You could also place one underneath your right knee if it feels like that support would be helpful. You can gaze at the ceiling. If you would like, you could gaze to your right. There's no right or wrong. We'll be in this shape for about 3 minutes before switching sides. Softening those target areas. In this pose, our target area is the front of our right thigh, and the entire kind of right front of our torso. Also good to soften the chest here. If anything starts to feel uncomfortable, you can always adjust. We've got about a minute left. Really breathe into your ribs for the next few breaths. All right, that's our 3-minute mark. So go ahead and draw your belly in and towards the right to roll back onto your hips. Let your legs stretch out, lie flat again. A great time to notice any differences between your right and left sides. And we'll make our way to the other side now. So bend your knees, bring your feet to the ground. If you used a pillow underneath your knees last time, switch it over to the other side. Take your feet wide, at least wider than hip distance. So if you looked down, your feet are outside your hips. And drop both knees over to the right this time. And again, you could stay right there or pick up your right ankle and put it on top of your left knee. Arms out wide to the sides. And here for about 3 minutes. Soften those areas along the front of your body. Allow your heart to melt down to the ground. Just a little bit longer on this side. Couple more breaths. Draw your lower belly in and towards the left to roll back onto your back. And extend your legs out, lie flat. Take rest. All right, for the next pose, we're going to go onto our belly. Let's go ahead and roll over, lying flat. Put your pillows on the left side of your body. You're going to come up onto your forearms. So it's okay if the pillows are slightly off the mat towards the left a bit. Come up onto your forearms and bring your right leg, not arm, right leg to the side like a frog leg. So right leg in frog, left leg back on your forearms. Now this is a place you could stay, and you could put a pillow underneath your chest and rest right here. Or you could add on by threading your left arm underneath your right armpit, lie down on your left shoulder, and roll your right arm up and back, coming into a twist, but keeping your right knee on the ground. Now, that's why the pillows are behind you. So you want to put those pillows kind of supported on your back. So as you roll up and over, you're rolling onto those pillows. So your arm has something supporting it. Your right shoulder has something supporting it. You should feel this in your back as a twist. You should also feel this slightly in your outer right hip, and you might also feel this in the front of your right shoulder. Those are the target areas. How much you feel it, and in which of those places you feel it depends on your body. And again, if you would prefer to stay in that Sphinx with the frog leg, that's another great variation. Again, we'll be in this for about 3 minutes. If you need to readjust the pillows, take the time to get comfortable. You want to be able to totally let go, feel totally supported. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere that doesn't need to be. We're almost done on this side. Couple more breaths. And slowly coming out of the shape, bring your right arm back along your side. Roll off of those pillows onto your left side. And we're right back onto your belly. Turn your head to look either direction or make a pillow out of your hands and rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Deep breath in and out. And move your pillows over to the right side of your body. Lots of pillows is good for yin. Once you've moved your pillow palace, go ahead and rise up onto your forearms. And again, you could choose to stay right here with that frog leg of the left leg. So left leg comes up to that frog leg. And you could stay or thread the right arm through. Lie down on the right shoulder, roll onto the right side of your body, let your head rest down, and take your left arm up and over. You're going to keep your left knee down to the ground. You're going to support your back with pillows and support your left arm with pillows. So if you need to get up and stack your pillows a bit higher, definitely give your body the support. Once you feel comfortable, go ahead, settle in. Eyes closed or open, whatever feels best. And again, softening those target areas, the outer left hip, the front of your left shoulder, and the muscles around your ribs and your back. Okay, go ahead and slowly roll back onto your belly. You can make that pillow out of the backs of your hands or turn your head to look either direction. Bring your hands by your shoulders. Press back to a child's pose. So, your choice if you have your knees together, your knees apart. Your big toes will be together. And you can place a pillow between your thighs and your belly or underneath your chest. Or not use a pillow if that feels better. You could also place one underneath your forehead for a little bit more neck support. Arms can be outstretched forward, palms face down, or you can wrap them along your sides, palms face up. Allow your arm bones to hang out of your shoulders. Breathe through the forehead smash on the floor. Still here, still breathing. Really soften your lower back. Really soften the tops of your feet. All right, great news. Let's get off the smashing face. Bring your hands by your shoulders. You're going to slowly sit up. Lovely yin on a Monday night. Okay, we're going to move into a pigeon pose. If you have another hip opener that you would love to do tonight instead, by all means, take your favorite. Moving into half pigeon, come forward onto hands and knees. Draw your right knee forward so it's behind your right wrist. And then kick your right foot slightly towards your left wrist, so it's in front of your left thigh a bit. And walk your left knee back like you're trying to sit down onto your right hip. This is a nice place where you could put a pillow under the left hip if you wanted, or you could even put a little bit of a pillow underneath the front knee or the front groin to take some of the pressure off the lower back. You can stay upright, or you could fold forward, putting a pillow underneath your belly, or underneath your head, or underneath your chest. And we'll rest here. Your target sensation for this is your outer right hip, outer right thigh. Oh, and I forgot to mention this in tonight's class. You can also do this posture lying on your back. So feel free to roll over and take it there instead. I show that example in one of the other yin classes I did last week. You can watch replays of all my classes by going to my feed. Softening that target area. Staying in that 3 to 5 range. Got about a minute and a half left. All right, slowly push yourself back up to your forearms if you came lower. Then I like to just kick my right leg back and lay right onto my belly, but you could also sit up and lay onto your back, whatever feels more comfortable. We'll take a rest before the other side. Sometimes the right leg can feel very alive, very stimulated after that. Rise back up. Press into tabletop or maybe a down dog if that feels good to your body. If a few cat and cows feel good, you can take those. Or just stay still. Okay, we'll move into half pigeon on the other side. So from that tabletop, slide your left knee forward behind your left palm or left wrist. Take your left foot towards the right wrist, so it's in front of your right thigh. Then slide your back knee back, sitting down towards your left hip. Thinking of rolling the right hip forward. But really, in most of these poses, it's not so much about alignment, at least in Yin. It's not about alignment. It's more about getting a sensation in the target area. So if you need to bend your back knee out to the side, or if you need to adjust your front shin, do what you need to be comfortable, to be pain-free, and to target that outer left hip. We're here for a little bit of time. Allow your breath to be natural. Softening in. About halfway there on the side. And just a little bit longer. All right. Rising back up to forearms. You can sit onto your left hip. This time we're going to lie down onto your back. And we're setting up for Shavasana now. And so get comfy. Maybe you want to do legs up the wall. Maybe you want to put a pillow underneath the backs of your knees. Whatever you'd like to settle in. If you need to wiggle around a little bit, definitely take the time to stretch and wiggle before finding stillness. And definitely give yourself 3 to 5, maybe even 10 to 15 long minutes of rest. Letting your body breathe how it wants. Letting your mind and body find some moments of quiet. As you find your Shavasana, I'm going to leave you here. So it's not just 10 minutes of me laying there in Shavasana. Thanks for joining me on Yin tonight. As always, I love seeing comments. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't, what you'd like to see more of. Happy Yin and have a great rest of your Monday evening.